95 crypto gaming coins, a world record in the YouTube space. No one has done more, and not only are we going to be doing 95 crypto gaming coins on a video, but we're going to be doing it in a single take. As someone that's been in the industry for a long time, I am hyper obsessed over just too many coins. I'm going to be honest with you, there are so many coins that haven't even come out that this list is going to be at 200 in no time. A world record, 95 coins. We're going to be ranking them from S to F tier. This is not a 10 to 100x tier list. So even if a cryptocurrency is a 100x potential play, it will be at F tier if the game is not good or if the fundamentals are not good. So I hope you enjoy this kind of content, and let's get right into it because we've got a lot of coins to talk about. Echelon Prime is the first coin. This one's at 500 million right now. I don't know why this one's not at $1 billion. It's got the AI narrative. They've got a bustling game. A bunch of people from Hearthstone are jumping ship, playing it. This one is going to be a multi-billion banger in the peak bull market. So this one's going to be my first S tier. I love this game. Bloodloop is the second one. Bloodloop is what is to be the next 9 heroes in my eyes, at least. They just started teasing here their official, play to airdrop, play the game, airdrop. Reminds me a lot of 9 heroes. I love 9 heroes. I played, over 100 wins worth of 9 heroes? So it's over 200 games. So an enormous amount of games. Very bullish on Bloodloop. Very bullish on the fundamentals. Don't think this is going to be like an S tier that it's going to be listed on Coinbase and Binance, but I do think that it's going to be definitely a solid one to look at. Cornucopias. Now, Cornucopias right now is a bit of a sleeper. They had done extremely well at the start of this bull cycle. Then they had their node sale, have relaxed a little bit. I still think the nodes are solid. I still think the Cornucopias is going to do well. It's just kind of in that chill zone. They have just so much runway, so it's hard to be bearish on Cornucopia. So I'm going to be putting it at the good tier here. Bubble from Imaginary Ones. They had their game, Bubble Rangers, right? They have an IP multifaceted here. A lot of money raised, so this one's going to be solid. This is one of those that when it launches, you're like, the airdrop guys are dumping, the VCs are dumping their early allocations. Maybe in a month or two, it'll be a good purchase. But from the fundamentals, this one's definitely strong. And I'm going to be putting it at okay, only because I think right now it's not that great of a buy. And we're talking about this month. So Beam is the next one. Beam is an easy S tier. They are hitting new all-time highs. They have so many partnerships. It's from Merit Circle. So it's, Mark, if you're listening, hard to be bearish on Merit Circle. I'm putting this one at an S tier. AVAX, also an easy S tier. They're just so large. They were very sleeper in the bear they were building. They were getting crypto games. They built subnets. A lot of these crypto games are going to have subnets, and that's why I'm putting it at an S tier. Altura, I'm going to skip it. Altura here, because I already said it. So Altura right now is at like a $30 million market cap. This is one that has really good fundamentals, but just doesn't have the marketing really to get it to that next level. Look at the market cap, right? I'm very bullish on Altura. I do think this one at some point will probably make new all-time highs. So I'm not bearish by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just going to be putting it at okay because we're not certain whether or not the marketing kickback is going to happen ASAP, or if this is something that's going to happen later in the bull cycle. Aether. So Aether, cloud computing, easy S tier. They raised a ridiculous amount of money. They're probably going to get it on some major centralized exchanges. So this one will likely have an over 1 billion FDV. So that's an S tier. Decimated. I like the game. It's a bit sleeper right now in terms of a token. It is something that has been strong from the start of this cycle and has held its price. So I am bullish on this one. I would just like to see it on, more centralized exchanges, but I know it's expensive, so don't worry. I'm well aware of this. The next one is Aurori. Aurori, it was doing really well as well. This one's on Solana. I like this game. It looks good. It plays well. It's just right now Solana gaming is a little bit sleeper. So people are selling on the Aurori chart. I'm going to be putting it at okay only because of that, but I really like this game. I think this game should be higher in the future. So Aphn. Now, Aphn, they have a game. It's called Bubble Buddy Arena game. I like this game. It reminds me a lot of, games like Fate and Arena when they initially came out. Love the game, but remember, there's more to that, more to the story. Solid fundamentals. Aphn is a sleeper in the space, just doesn't have a lot of attention right now, but it will change over time. So I'm going to be putting that at the okay tier. Dami Online has a solid chart as well. This one's on the 𝐕𝐲𝐲𝐽 narrative. They just ran so hard when 𝐕𝐲𝐲𝐽 started running. It's up 650% right now. It has held. It's looking good. The game's not incredible right now, but they also are an indie game, so you've got to give it. So I'm also putting OKT here. 𝐿𝐾𝐿, this one's good. It's a meme coin, huge market cap. I am very bullish on meme coins. Fair launches. I know what people are going to say, but they're all scams. I don't think they're all scams. I think 𝐿𝐾𝐿 is actually trying to build something here with Valhalla. That's their crypto game. So I'm putting it at the good tier. AXS just had their first governance vote. This is Axie Infinity's coin. I am bullish on this coin. I'm just not as bullish on this coin as I am on Ronin. I think Ronin is going to be much better. So I'm putting it at mid tier only because of that. I just rather hold some of the other coins in the ecosystem, but it's not an F anymore. I know that it practically was an F a year ago, but it's actually not looking that bad anymore. So I'm putting it at the C tier. Artifact, the chart is abysmal right now. I don't know if it's the unlocks or what, but it has just been bleeding. They have an AI narrative, so they might just randomly pump, but right now I'm going to be putting it at the D tier. Crypto unicorns. Now, crypto unicorns, they are over with 𝐈, and 𝐈 has a lot of money. So I'm really bullish on crypto unicorns because of that. They're also not scared to say that they're pretty much play to earn. You know, don't miss this 100x potential gaming gem. I'm very bullish on crypto unicorns. I think crypto unicorns is going to do well, so I'm putting this one at the good tier. Decentraland. This one might randomly pump. It's not dead. But it's also like, unless the founder finds a way to pump it like he did last cycle, it's not going to do anything. So I'm putting it at D tier. We have 𝐂𝐫, which is Castle of Blackwater. This one has been doing pretty much nothing. I know this one launched on Seedify, which is why I know about this one. Has like no volume right now. So it's essentially dead, but it's also one of those coins that might be like, oh, we're going to wait a while and then we're randomly going to do a bunch of marketing. This is going to pump to some crazy numbers. So for now, I'm going to be putting it at a D tier, but that could, of course, change over time. This one, it's a utility coin. I put big time utility coins always on the two situational category because most people are only going to be buying this if they are actually in the big time ecosystem. So I'm not bearish on big time itself, but I am not someone that buys utility coins unless I'm actually in the ecosystem itself. Bullyverse, huge market cap. Now it's kind of dead. So I'm putting it at F. ApeCoin also pretty much dead. Gaming, not really huge vertical for them. I don't know if I'm big into this. And also, felt like a coin that only came out to reward Yuga holders. And everybody that bought this coin has been deep in the red since then. Just not cooking at all. Just, I mean, look at the crypto punks. They're doing a collection. Not good. Not good at all. Elixir. Now, Elixir hasn't launched either. They did have an IDO, which was the IDO for Cross the Ages. I remember this, which I don't know why I didn't put Cross the Ages on this tier list. If I were to put Cross the Ages, it'd be pretty solid. I actually really like Cross the Ages. Probably would have been A tier. But anyway, Elixir, I'm putting this one at an S tier. This one is a launchpad play as well as an ecosystem play. They have 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐼𝐷𝐻 that they just went ahead and announced. I actually talked about this one as well. I like 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐼𝐷𝐻. It's a really solid title. You know, traditional gaming will actually enjoy this game. And I think that, you know, them with LitLab acquiring that, they're just going to really cook this cycle. They might be the next Seedify. Who knows? Legends of Lumia also has a coin. This was one that I know a lot of people were farming for the play to airdrop. I also bought this one at some point. Isn't cooking as much these days, but does have a really good ecosystem. I like the ecosystem behind it. So I'm going to be putting it at the meh. I don't know if I'd buy it right now, but it's something you should definitely have on your radar if you're big into play to earn. Ember Sword has not come out, but this is an MMORPG that's going to be coming out. And Ember Sword was cooking really hard last cycle. I don't know what happened, though. I haven't heard really anything from Ember Sword for a long time. So for now, I think I'm going to be putting it at maybe like a D tier. I haven't heard anything from Ember Sword, but they just might be in development, right? A lot of these crypto games are still in deep development. Engines of Fury came out, has a solid chart, is kind of cooking. I'm not bearish on this one at all. I think this one's going to do well. This one, it immediately came out, dipped pretty hard, had a huge run up to 90 cents, and is now just ranging at this 40-cent range. I like it. I like it. I'm going to be putting this one at the okay tier. Engine. Not a big fan of Engine. I don't think it's dead per se. It's just not cooking. It's not cooking right now. So it's not dead, but it's not great. We'll just leave it there. Evermoon, I am biased because I like MMORPGs. Sorry, MOBAs. Jesus, MMORPGs. I really like the look of Evermoon. I am not certain on how they're going to get enough value accrual to make this an A tier, but I will be putting it at a B tier because I like MOBAs. We have the next one, which looks to me like it is, let's guess this. This looks like Xverse. Is it Xverse? I hope I got that right. All right, we got it right. Okay, good. $6 million market cap, huge fully diluted market cap, launched pretty recently. I am bullish on this one. It's been holding itself. Not a lot of crypto gaming coins are kind of holding its little range here. It's down, what, 10, 20% from its launch, which happened a bit ago. So I'm actually bullish on this one. I think it's good. The game doesn't really cook as much, so I'm going to be putting it at a B tier because of that. Next one is 𝐕𝐢𝐝. Now, 𝐕𝐲 did a huge launch, enormous launch, has been holding, 500 mil fully diluted market cap, but it's just been red over and over and over and, over again. So we'll be putting this one on the med tier for now. We'll see how that goes. 𝐂𝐫𝐲 is the next one. 𝐂𝐫𝐲, it's alive. It's at a $1.5 billion market cap. I think the company's really suspicious. I think a lot of the things that they do are not cohesive to what I would want to see in crypto gaming, but it could still pump. I'm not going to be one to say that it's not going to pump. I don't support what they're doing, and I wish them the best of luck, but I'll put it at a meh only because it might just randomly pump a couple billion market cap just because it's at the top crypto gaming coins, and people have a pretty big attachment to 𝐂𝐫𝐲. So, 𝐉𝐨𝐲𝐻, we're going to go to the next one. 𝐉𝐨𝐲𝐻 is super sleeper. This is what Alex Becker actually talked about. It just randomly pumped like crazy after that. I saw that. But it launched at a pretty bad time, has been ranging since then. I'm really bullish on 𝐉𝐨𝐻 and what they're building, so I'm going to be putting them at the A tier. Games for a living. 𝐕𝐢𝐝 was really big earlier in the cycle. People kind of just chilled out at 𝐕𝐢𝐝. I think it's kind of close to all-time highs in a way. It's like, what, half of what it was before? It's really doing well. And, they have a game. It's just not gaining market share. And that's a problem. So I'm going to be putting it at the met tier. Chrono Forge. Chrono Forge is a cooker. I like the game. It looks cool. I wish I was invested in it. So if Chrono Forge is listening, please let me put money into your game because that would be really cool. But Chrono Forge looks really good. I think it's not an S tier, but it's definitely an A tier. And I'm sure it'll get some solid listings when it comes out. GameSwift, G-Swift, they came out with Star Heroes, which we'll get to Star Heroes, right? The G-Swift, enormous launch, tons of price action, absolutely cooked earlier in the cycle, has been relaxing since then. When crypto gaming comes back, they're going to do well. So I'm going to be leaving them at an okay tier. Next one is Gods Unchained. Now, Gods Unchained, it's actually not doing bad. This game is still retaining people. People are still playing Gods Unchained to this day. They're not earning an enormous amount of gods, but they are earning. So you've got to give them props just for that right there. I don't know if I'm the most bullish in the world on Gods Unchained, but the fact that they've been able to hold a decent amount of users in crypto gaming automatically puts them at least an A tier. Now, the next one is Guild of Guardians. Guild of Guardians has what seems to me to be a lot of wash trading. The volume is really weird on Guild of Guardians. The game came out. People were comparing this to be the next biggest crypto game in the world. I think the game's fine. I don't think the game's bad. I really don't. I think the game's pretty solid, but it reminds me a lot of regular games in the traditional space, which isn't a bad thing. We saw Mavia do really well because of that. It's at a pretty high market cap. So I'll be putting this one at a B tier for now, and we shall see where that goes. Gunzilla. Gunzilla is cooking because they have Off the Grid, and Off the Grid is going to be one of the biggest crypto games on the planet. So it's an automatic S tier. They're going to get huge listings. Automatic S tier. Honeyland. Honeyland has a play-to-earn economy, and I'm bullish on play-to-earn economies. This is a utility coin kind of, though, so I would put it at the D tier only because I'd put it at too situational, but I'm not bearish on this coin. I like people that are not afraid of getting into play-to-earn. They're on Solana, so I've got to give them props for that. Hytopia. Hytopia announced some pretty big acquisitions earlier this month, and their market cap's only 37 million. This one it's not an S tier, but it's up there. So I'm going to be putting it at an A tier. It's going to cook. We got Hytopia nodes. They were really cheap, by the way. Crazy cheap when they sold them. So very bullish on this one. ILV right now, $92. Am I bearish on ILV? No, I think this one will be at billions of dollars of market cap. I also think that the worst of this whole hyperinflation thing, it's kind of come and went. So I have a hard time being bearish on Illuvium. I will be putting this one at the good tier, not an S tier. Immutable X. It's the Godfather crypto. They're trying the get as many games as possible. Tell them that if you hit these KPIs, we'll give you money. I'm not bearish on that. I'm putting it at S tier. It's hard to put anything that's a $3.5 billion market cap at anything less than an S tier in the crypto gaming space. DeFi Kingdoms, this is the Jewel token. It went really high randomly when AVAX was doing its thing. It's just ranging now. I still maintain the belief that this is not really a crypto game. It's a yield farm. I like the people at DeFi Kingdoms, so no shade at all. This might make a comeback. It might make a comeback at some point. They told me that they're building this into an actual game at some point. So if they do that, then I'll be putting them up there. But right now, as it stands, it's pretty meh. Carrot, it got on Coinbase. So that is an automatic S tier. Anything that gets on Coinbase in the crypto gaming space is automatically at an S tier. Has the AI narrative as well. Automatic S tier. Compete. I am still not convinced of their utility, but it doesn't matter. People will still invest just because of what the game is. I like the gameplay. I actually played quite a bit of Compete. I am not bearish. I'm actually pretty damn bullish on this one. It's never had a crazy amount of volume. It's never been a crazy gainer coin, but it is one that is very much solid. So I'm going to be putting this one at the OK tier. Lit Lab Games got acquired by Elixir. They have some reasons to hold this thing, but I mean, I would much rather just hold Elixir. Why would you hold Lit Lab? Why do that? So I guess I'll put it at okay, because the game reminds me of TFT, Teamfight Tactics. So, the game's kind of cool, but I would just rather hold Elixir, right? So Love Monster, they just came out with their coin. This one's on Solana. It's having its first day thing. I wouldn't buy this right now because it just launched, but maybe like in a month or 2 or 3 even, they're going to have a play to earn economy. You're going to be able to upgrade your parts. It's going to have syncs in their game, which a lot of crypto games don't have. They have some pretty nice artists from Disney, etc. So I am pretty bullish on this one. Founder worked with a bunch of celebrities, and I'm sure he has the connections to make something like Love Monsters work. So I am bullish on Love Monsters. I'm putting it at A tier only because it's at such a low market cap right now. So Treasure, this is Magic. This one, I don't know, guys. It just feels like if I had to choose between, 𝐳 or Treasure at the same market cap, I would choose 𝐳. Maybe that's because I'm a node guy, but I'm not bearish on Treasure. I think this one it's good, but if I had to do 𝐳, which is a crypto gaming node ecosystem, if I can even find it, there's just so many nodes here. I'm sure 𝐳 is somewhere in here. We'll get to them at some point. If I don't get to 𝐳, I would put 𝐳 at an S tier because I think they're killing it on Arbitrum. I think I might have left it out, so it is what it is. Arcade is the next one. Arcade has really strong fundamentals. They have these mission pools that people can throw stuff in there. If you don't feel like, using all those assets you bought, those NFTs you bought, you could throw it in there, still earn. I like the pools. I like the idea. I think it cooks. It just, it just launched. So it has a lot of that negative price action, but it's been stabilizing. This is a cooker long-term. Materium. I'm putting this at an F tier only because I don't know what's going on with this. So I don't know if this is going to succeed or not succeed. They just replaced the entire team with a Chilean team. And so if I were to get into the Gala ecosystem, I would much rather buy the actual coin that the developers, founders, etc. have a bunch of, and they have nodes and they have a ton of incentives to make work, versus Materium that we don't even know what is going on with the games ecosystem or whether or not, Gala Games is going to focus on gaming. It feels like they're very much trying to go for that L1 chain. So I'm putting it there. I know I put it at a higher tier, but that was before the news came out with Michael McCarthy. So the next one is Mavia. Now, Mavia right now is at a pretty big old market cap. It's stabilized. This one still has a good amount of users. I still hold the #1 guild in the US. You must join Roy Boy if you're playing Mavia. This is a shout out to you. I like this game. It has strong fundamentals. It's held its own, and it has spelled the beginning of the bull cycle. I just noticed I didn't put Portal. I would also put Portal up here. So Metadose. I don't like the gameplay. It's so weird, guys. you play Metadose and it just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't look good. So I'm putting this one at the D tier. 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐸D. So this one hasn't come out yet. It is looking like it's getting closer. I think they said something about the contract being almost finished. I know that some people made threads about, oh, but this is AI generated and it's garbage and this and that. I still think this one's going to cook. You know, we got into this one, so I'm going to be putting it at the okay tier. We'll see what happens when it launches and whether or not they get the advertising revenue to make this a big success. But for now, definitely putting it at the okay tier. Mixmob with MXM, they have launched their mobile version very recently. They have been holding as well during this bear cycle. They are on the Solana narrative. Their Game Racer 1 is cool. They're an ecosystem play. I think that they're going to cook in the peak bull cycle, so I will be putting them in the good tier. Mon Protocol, automatic S tier. This one's getting listed pretty soon, actually. This is from the Pixelmon folk. This has just partnerships everywhere. So this one is an easy S tier. I'm sure it's going to get some pretty major listings, so I'm putting it in an S tier. This is Moon Tropica next, so CAH. It absolutely cooked for a while, has been ranging. They have a huge DeFi community. I'm not bearish on this one. I know the degens love this game, and so I'm going to be putting this one at the good tier. So Myria. I already got my return on investment on Myria. Like, I already cooked on this one. This is also an ecosystem play. You know, indie studios, Ahoy are getting into this one. I actually like Myria. I don't think Myria is bearish at all. I'm surprised I don't see more Myria on the timeline, so I'm putting them there. So this one is Mythos. Yep, it's Mythos. So they are just alive. You know, like they've done pretty decently. I don't know, like, I know that the Mythos dev is, you know, they're trying. They have a lot of users too, but I'm not convinced. So I'm going to be leaving them at the okay tier. Nakamoto. Now, Naka started the whole Telegram thing, and they have been cooking this entire cycle just so well. I am not bearish on this play. I'm putting this one at the good tier. We like Nakamoto. Nine Heroes. They got Bybit. They got some pretty good listings. This is the best crypto game in the market right now, at least for me that I've played so far. Is it going to be a $100 billion play? You know, is it as good as Beam? I wouldn't put it next to Beam, but I would put it probably above Bloodloop. I'm putting it at the top of A tier. It's a really good game. So PegXE, I know that Corey talked to the people over at the whales and the clans and all that stuff. Right? That was a thing at some point. That had this huge pump here. But then it just died again. I don't know. It looks a lot better than it did before, but it's just dead right now. I don't know what to say. But the game looks cool. It looks a lot better than it did before. So hopefully it comes out and it comes back. So Crown has really strong fundamentals. This one's going to be a pumper this cycle. This is an easy A tier for me. They've got horse racing too. We love horse racing and whatever else they end up doing, right? So Pixels Online, they have the most users in the entire crypto gaming space right now. Automatic S tier. You get automatic S tier for that. So congratulations. You've absolutely killed it. I think my page froze. I'll come back. All right, we are now back. So Pixels Online right here, S tier. They have the most users. Makes sense, right? So next one is Mojo. They announced a game other than their auto battler that I think looks dope. If I had to take a bet on some of these newer TGEs, I'd take a bet on Planet Mojo. People are dumping the heck out of it though, like really hard right now. They didn't launch at a great time, and so they've just had a bunch of sell pressure. But long term, I am bullish on Mojo. I think Mojo will cook. It's just, it's tough right now. It is tough right now with the chart, but it's going to get better, I think. So I'm leaving it at B tier. Playable family company. I think they grew too fast. They were doing really well earlier this cycle, like crazy amount of gains. The nodes were selling like crazy, and then, you know, they just calmed down. I don't think the team's bad. They had a bit of restructuring, but you know, you got to do your thing with marketing. So this might be one that later in the cycle comes back. I do think they have good intentions. So I'm going to be leaving it at the okay tier for now. But of course, you know, price action wise, I would probably just wait until it has a big catalyst and then think about getting into it. Next one is PlayZap. Now, PlayZap has also been holding. They have the hyper casual genre that they are trying to do, just mass producing games and making ad revenue off of it. This one, it's not bad. It did get some solid centralized exchange listings. So I'm going to be putting it at the okay tier. It's just not as good as the other ones at A tier. Polygon in crypto gaming, In 2024, I'll be putting it at the okay tier, only because I just don't see a lot of... It feels like all the games on Polygon are moving to immutable. I don't know what's going on there, but just all the games from Polygon are just going to immutable right now. 𝐴𝐫𝐻, next coin. 𝐴𝐫𝐻 looking good. Actually looking solid. It's been cooking. Look at this. Had its range. Huge pump. Calm down. Cooking. Just straight up cooking. So I'm going to be putting this one at the good tier. Ronin, S tier. Easy S tier. Biggest crypto gaming ecosystem. Solid chain. S tier. Sandbox, I think it's the same as the Decentraland, so I'm putting it at the same tier. I'm just not convinced right now that it's going to be a huge success, but it might randomly pump. 𝐶2FI, not as strong as before. I think that they're doing way too many listings, and that is diluting their brand a little bit. You know, I understand that you got to make money, but it's just way too much right now, and a lot of these crypto gaming coins aren't performing, so I would like to see 𝐶2FI get more into AI coins maybe, or something else, because crypto gaming, it's a little bit slow in terms of launches, so not the best in terms of a coin, but I really like what may become of 𝐶2FI, and that's why I'm moving it to A. Thank you. Next one is Shrapnel. So Shrappies are at a low price right now. It's right back down to pretty much where it started. I am bullish on Shrapnel. They are not afraid, and they're gonna cook. So I'm putting it at A tier. Citus is the next one. They have a ton of utility. He's also got a launch pad. They were the ones, you know, Engines of Fury. I think they have like Verida or something else in AI that's going to be coming out too. I'm very bullish on this one. I think this one's going to do really well. So I'm putting it at A tier. Synverse, I mean, I've looked at the gameplay. I'm putting it at a D tier. So SLP is the next one. SLP, it's a meme coin. I'm putting it at D tier. It's too situational. Upline has Sparklet, which I think also is too situational, but I do like Upline. You know, this one reminds you a lot of Earth 2 and some of these other games. The game might not be the most incredible thing in the world, but the money that they raise, the backers, it's hard to be bearish on Upline. Just, you know, Sparklet is situational. Splinterland. So Splinterland apparently has a bunch of users. Is it Splinter Shard? Yeah, there it is. So Splinter Shards right now, it's not terrible. It's just, would I buy it? No, I just wouldn't buy it right now. So I'm putting it at the meh tier. They have users. Star Atlas, good tier. They are the most promising game, I think, on Solana right now. Biggest economy. They have like 10% of all Solana transactions. So I'm putting them at the good tier. Borderline S tier, actually. I'm definitely putting them up there, in there. Star Heroes, next game. They have enormous prize pool. They launched, have been killing it right now with this launch. Like, it's been holding this entire time. And if Dorito's watching, goated human being. I don't know if I put it at an S tier. Like, is it better than Ronin? You know, like, I don't think it's better than Ronin, but it is absolutely like right next to 9 Heroes at the A tier. I think that's a fair place to put it. And, you know, they have enormous esports potential. The Polish people are all over it. GMT. It's GMT. I don't know. Like, it's GMT. So it's pretty meh. They got the step end stuff. Meh. Next one is Storm Warfare. They're doing all right now. I think they changed the coin. It's a J now. But Storm Warfare, it's just been slipping over and over. I don't know what happened here. The game's not bad. I played the game's tournament. And, you know, we got a bit of an allocation here. But it just hasn't been cooking. So we'll put it at the meh tier for now. But I like this game. Don't know why this game is doing so poorly right now. So the next one is Superverse. Superverse, it's extremely bullish. They've got ridiculous amount of backing, ridiculous amount of community, ridiculous amount of partnerships. This one is pretty much an S tier. I'm putting it in an S. Thetan World. Now, I've looked into this one a little bit more. They had a rebrand. They left the whole Thetan Arena thing behind them. They're an ecosystem play now. It's not as bearish as it was before. Now, is it an S tier? No. Is it an A tier? No. I'd be putting this one at D tier. It's not dead though. This is a big upgrade for Thetan Arena. I was instantly putting it at the dead tier. So I'm putting it at the D tier because they might do something, but it's just their reputation from when they had initially launched, it was awful. So I'm not sure how they're going to come back from that. So tier 20. This one, they're trying to do Bitcoin narrative. I don't think it's cooking. It's on Bitcoin though, I guess. So I'll put it at D tier, but should probably put it at F tier. Next one is Mr. UOS. Where is it? Where are you? Ultra. So, what are we thinking? I am not a big bull on Ultra. I know that they're building a lot of stuff, but I'm just not a big bull. So I'm going to be putting it at the Met tier. So Vulcan Forged. Vulcan Forged, a lot of people are holding, has a big market cap, has been kind of holding itself pretty steadily. Had a huge run, then it just kind of calmed down. It doesn't give me the best vibes in the world, but it's all right. It's okay. So I'll leave it at the okay tier. �WAGME. This one is on IMX. In my opinion, if IMX is listening to this video, �WAGME games should be one of the biggest focuses on your chain right now. You should be 150% behind �WAGME games. They're a tower defense game, and they are doing it the right way. People are making tons of money playing this game. This is, oh my God, am I going to put this in an S tier? Am I doing this? I don't know. It's not an ecosystem play. It's hard to put anything that's, it kind of is an ecosystem play though. Like they're going to be making more. Ooh, it's at the top of A tier. Top of A tier. We'll leave it there. I think we're happy with that. So Wax. I haven't heard of any games building on Wax in a long time. We used to be ambassadors of Wax like last cycle. They've just been doing, I don't know, nothing. Just a bunch of Ponzi games that launched there. So I'm putting it at D tier for now, but I'm sure they could randomly come up with a game that'll pump it. So Mega Weapons Token, they right now are at a $4 million market cap. They aren't spending money on marketing. So just because of that, I'm going to have to give them a low rating. But I do really like this game. And I'm sure that when they inevitably do marketing, that this game will be a success. So I'm not going to be putting it at a D or an F just because of that. Right now, I wouldn't buy Mega Weapon. But I also know what they're cooking, and it is really hard to be bearish on what they're building. So I'm putting them at a C just because of that. But I know, I'm sure they've got something coming that's going to make them that much better. So that's kind of where my head is in terms of that. So we mix Asia narrative. We like Asia narrative. Asia narrative has a lot of value. But right now, Asia narrative, it's a bit boring because people are focused on other narratives. We mix is going to come back. They've got a ton of users. And so I shall be putting you at the good tier, at the bottom of the good tier, like probably like an A- right now. Wilder World, they are just all over the place right now. They are at a $173 million market cap. They've got Wheels Arcade Austin. That's going to be an awesome, dope event. They have had a huge run over the past couple months. So I'm putting this one at a good tier. I like metaverse projects. I like projects that are not afraid to spend money to make some quality product. And Wilder World is definitely one of them. Oh, we do have 𝐈. Okay, so we've got 𝐈 here. So 𝐈, I think, is the better treasure. It's just, it's going to dominate the Arbitrum narrative. This is an S tier for, is it an S tier? Because I know Aether is also going to be launching on Arbitrum. Oosh. Top of A tier. Top of A tier. Xborg. They have esports teams that are coming to them and saying, hey, can you build us application? They go, okay, we build application for you. They have tons of users. I think this one's going to cook. I don't think it's going to S tier cook, but it's going to be good tier for me. Last one's YGG. If YGG is listening, you're a guild. You've been doing pretty well for yourself. Congratulations. You've been cooking. Look at this chart. Look at this chart. It's a sexy chart. You get good tier. Good for you. And so that's pretty much going to be it. I have successfully, hopefully, done it in a short amount of time. Is this tier list perfect? No, it's not. If I had more time to look into these, I'm sure I'd be doing different ratings. But when you're doing 95 crypto games, what can you expect? At the end of the day, look into the cryptos. This is all just me looking at it from very surface level information. Some of them I have more information on, of course. And, my just raw thoughts on the industry as a whole. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which coins did I miss? Stay classy, and that's all.